We are live. I want to see, can I? Hold on, you guys. Alright, so we got to keep it like this. So I don't know what was going on with my line. I had it set, went into it, and then somebody rotating the screen, and I rotated the doggone screen, you guys. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm like, I did all this work, put the whole thing up, did all this. I don't know. Hopefully it worked. Hopefully it's still into the same cover that I have for this and everything and information. If not, I'm gonna edit it right now for you guys, because I want you guys to be able to click the link and when I talk about like certain products and all that stuff like that. Hey y'all, so can y'all hear me clear? I see somebody hitting the like. Can y'all comment, let me know? Can you hear me clear? Am I clear? Y'all, oh, YouTube already, YouTube already getting started. Let me go ahead and light my incense, you guys. Go ahead and light my incense. Can you guys hear me clear? Can you comment? Let me know. Let me know. Are you okay? I can hear you. Okay, hey Jessica. Hey girl. Okay. Alright, sorry about that, y'all. I was on time. I was on time. I was way before on time. But I don't know what happened with the doggone. What the doggone thing kept telling me to rotate. And I'm like, I'm rotating. And then it's telling me that it was just telling me a lie, you guys. So ooh. Alright, so hi you guys. In this live, I'm going to be talking about my painful menstruation cycle. Like back in the day, I used to have a very, very painful menstruation. It was, girl, it took me through the whirlwind. I had all this doggone mood swings. I had all this stuff going on, y'all. Y'all be patient with me because I'm trying to fix this right. This is technically, it's not my first time going live on here, but not like spirit of the moment. Normally I just do a spirit of the moment. So I'm trying to go live more. I'm trying to be present with you guys more on YouTube and get this YouTube thing going. I'm like, let me go ahead and come back to YouTube because TikTok tripping. Anyway, so yes, in this live we're gonna be talking about my painful menstruation, my story behind that, and also the steps I took to having a healthier, happier period, easier period, all the natural remedies that I did. Well, not all of them, but I'm gonna give you the majority of my favorite ones that I did. And also, like, so you got certain type of products I love using and everything like that. We're gonna do a little Q&A. We're gonna see what's popping, what's going on. I know I had a lady ask me about if I could talk about something later on. I'm gonna talk about later on. Hopefully she's able to join the live. She said she's gonna be getting off work, so if she's not, I'm still gonna answer the questions, so it will be in the end. All right, so you guys, bear with me because I do have my notes up. It's not really much in the notes. I'm just going to be speaking off the top of my head. But I just want to make sure that I remember what I'm talking about. Because you girl, I like this talk. Sometimes I'll be going off the mat, you guys. So, you guys, I got this juice, this smoothie that I made. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It has avocado, pineapple, and bananas. Oh, delicious. Okay, so you guys, all right, my painful menstruation. Me and Flo, we did not have a good relationship. Me and Flo was like enemies. Every time I knew it was time for my period to come on, I'm like, oh my gosh, I started stressing. I started just like, oh, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be in bed. I ain't gonna be able to do all this. Pineapple makes anything good. Girl, yes it does. Girl, yes it does. And this is my first time putting pineapple in that one. So I'm like, oh, bring it out a little bit more. And so you guys, it was very, very painful. I cannot even describe you the pain that I used to have, especially with my menstrual cramps. I used to have mood swings a lot too, heavy bleeding. My period used to be on from like 6-7 days out the week. It would just be like, oh my gosh. And the majority of it, of heavy bleeding, was like 3-4 days heavy bleeding, then spotting and stuff like that. But it was still kind of heavy spotting for me. And so back in maybe about 2015 is when I started taking my womb healing more serious, because that's when I found out I had ovarian cysts. But around that time, that's when I realized my period started to really, really get crazy. Because I used to, when I first started my cycle, when I was like, what, 12, 13 years old, I didn't have no pain, no cramps, no nothing. I didn't know my period would come on most of the time. And I didn't realize that maybe when I got into the certain relationship or whatever, after that, my menstruations became even more painful. It became painful because it was never painful before. But say some from around me being 12, 13 to around 22, 23, 24, around that time, I started to have very, very painful menstruations. And I was like, what is going on? Then I found out I had ovarian cysts. I'm like, oh, okay, it could be the issue with that and stuff. And so I was like, okay, I need to take some natural measures. Because at the time, I was doing yoga and meditation. I was working out a little bit and call myself being a vegetarian. And I thought I was doing good until I found out I had this. I'm like, well, wait a minute, how that happen? I'm a vegetarian, I eat healthy, I do all this stuff, and it threw me out. It just threw me for the whirlwind. And then, like, I just thought that it was normal for women to have menstrual cramps. It was normal for women to have mood swings when they on their cycle. I just thought it was kind of normal to have a very painful, bad cycle. One week after month, women gonna be very moody and have all these pains and this. I thought it was so normal. So when I started having these cramps and this cramps and mood swings and bleeding and all this stuff like that, I was like, oh, I guess it's kind of normal. I guess it hit me later than before. So girl, you guys, I was like, when I found out I had ovarian cysts, I was like, okay, no, something not right. And then I started doing research about menstruation and research about like natural remedies and exercises that you could do. I found out that it's not normal to have a very painful menstruation. It's not normal to to have like a heavy menstruation. It's not normal to have like mood swings and things of that nature. I remember I used to feel like my hormones switching in my body, and I was about to start getting angry. I was about to I remember I used to feel it coming on, and sometimes I even had like a heat wave hit me, and it would just be like, what in the world is going on? So you guys, I said, no ma'am. I said, no ma'am, let me go look about this. Let me go look into some things and just figure this thing out. Because those cramps was debilitating. Those cramps had me in my bed. Those cramps had me crying. I didn't know what to do. And around that time, I wasn't too urged, but I never really I just always thought that it was okay to have painful menstruation, especially period cramps, swings, be moody, be angry, and stuff like that. I just thought it was normal. I found out it was not normal, and once I realized like I could do things naturally, something that can not only just help my cramps but help balance out my hormones. Because I found like that was the main reason why I had like ovarian cysts and all these different things. I realized, I'm like, oh, okay, this is the reason why I'm having pain, is because my hormones are out of balance. Excuse me, y'all. I'm trying to make sure I am okay. I was making sure I was still on YouTube, and it just blew me away. It blew me away. So I was like, okay, what can I do? I know I could do some things as far as eating better. As far as like eating better, doing some herbs. I found out about some exercises. I found out about like certain type of menstruation, like pads and all these different things that you could use and stuff for having a healthier, happier period. So I'm like, okay. So one of the first things I started to do is eat better. I started to eat healthier. Even though I was a vegetarian, I was a junk food vegetarian. Like, you guys, I used to be just even though it was vegetarian or even vegan, it still had like a lot of sugar in it, a lot of sodium in it, or it had like gluten in it, or different things of that nature, where I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe that's not the healthiest thing. Just because it's vegetarian or vegan don't mean it's necessarily healthy. And so I was like, okay, let's switch this up. And so I started research foods, like certain foods that you can eat to have a healthier period. What can you eat, or what foods should you avoid? And some of the main things that it said that you should avoid is too much sugar. Too much sugar. And I was like, me being a vegetarian, I still eating them vegan cookies, and I still a cookie monster. I love me some vegan cookies, honey. What? And it still had, even though it had like cane sugar or sometimes just regular sugar, it still had like a lot of sugar in it. I was still eating a vegan ice cream, even though it didn't have any meat in it. It still had a lot of sugar in it. So I realized, I'm like, even though I'm eating vegan foods and vegetarian foods that's considered healthier or healthy, it still was too much sugar that I was eating. Another thing I realized I was doing too much is drinking, honey. Speaking of drink, child, I was drinking way too much. I didn't even realize that there was like limits with the CDC saying that if you binge drinking, this is how much should be drinking, and to not binge drink, and 3 ways to drink and stuff like that. My idea was healthy drinking was just, oh, okay, I know my limit, and I just got to my limit, and that was it. Or sometimes I got over that limit and was just like, oh. Or it's like, oh, I'm only going out to drink on the weekend. Or I'm only drinking wine. Most of the thing I was drinking was wine. And I was like, oh, well, a glass of red wine a day, keep the doctor away, something like that, or whatever. All this in my head, and I realized I still was drinking too much. And I had to cut back on that. And the times when I realized, okay, like, let me fast for like 30 days and see what happens with my cramps. So see what happens with my body, because I was into, like, still am into working out and stuff, and just seeing what happened with my health. And the different times that I cut back on drinking, I realized my menstruation was even better. It was much better. I was like, oh, even like my gut and stuff like that. Just different things really helped me with my menstruation, as far as like cutting back drinking alcohol. And so I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize when I was drinking too much, but also like the errors in saying drinking a glass of that Merlot, that what's that, that Pinot Negrino, whatever, Pinot and all them homegirls. Drinking is it got all those sulfites in it. Sometimes I would drink that cheap behind wine too, you guys. So I was drinking that little $5, $10 bottle of wine. It had those extra sulfites. It probably had those pesticides and herbicides and mixed in with it. And honey, it was putting my wound through a whirlwind. And I'm sitting here wondering why I got the cramps or the mood swings and things of that nature. And I realized, okay, drinking too much was another one. And then also drinking alcohol can produce a lot of fats, and like it has a lot of sugar in it too. So it was bringing up my sugar content in my body. It was like, oh, oops, I thought I was doing right. So then another thing that I realized, even though I was a vegetarian, I was a vegan, that I wasn't getting enough fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. Even though I was eating fruits and vegetables, but I wasn't eating a lot of it. I was probably eating like 1 serving a day, maybe. At least get something a day. And I realized, okay, I'm not getting all the nutrients and the vitamins and the minerals in my body to help feed my wound everything that she needs to not to be all crazy. Want to talk on menstruation? Come on, like, or just for me to get all the calcium that I need, because you need a lot of calcium in your body, enough calcium in your body for you not to have a lot of menstruation cramps. So you have like a lot of painful menstrual cramps. A lot of times you may be deficient, or have low amount of calcium in your body. And so some guy had told me this randomly. I was like taking this class, and I told him I had cramps, and he was like, oh, you should take some calcium. I'm like, first of all, you a man, how you know that? But I looked into it, he was right. I was like, oh, he was like, you should eat like more yams, or eat more like more citrus fruits and all these things. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna look into it. And I looked into it, I shown up, it was a thing. So I was like, okay, let me make sure I'm getting enough calcium in my body. Let me make sure I'm getting enough other vitamins and minerals and nutrients and all these things in that nature. So I was like, okay, let me get more fresh fruits and fresh vegetables in my body. Because girl, and not necessarily it had to be raw, but it needed to be like fresh. Like I got this avocado, bananas, and pineapples in here and stuff like that. Hold on. Excuse me, y'all, because that is delicious. But that's the one way that I get my fresh fruits, my fresh vegetables, is definitely making me a smoothie. I would have had some spinach in here, but I didn't feel like going to the store before doing this live. And I'm like, I'm not. So it would have had me some spinach in here. But Yes, you guys. Yes. So eating fresh fruits and fresh vegetables can is key. It is most important to having a healthier, happier period. Another thing, and y'all already know what I'm about to doggone say, is drinking you some water, girl. That's number one. That's number one. Because when you're on your cycle, you're releasing a lot of blood. And there's a lot of water in your blood. And when you releasing all this blood and all this water coming out your body, you are depleting some of your nutrients in your body. And so you need something to replenish yourself. So if you're not eating right, but also you're not drinking enough water, you best believe you're going to have the menstrual cramps, the mood swings, heavy bleeding, all that. And so I said, let me do a little experiment on this drinking water, because I was always into drinking water. But I said, let me drink some more. Let's see. So I went 30 days drinking close to a gallon a day. And baby, when I tell y'all my menstrual, and this is over the years, over almost 10 years. Ooh, I'm telling my age. But God, over 10 years of me like seeing what works for me, what don't work for me, eating fresh fruits and this and doing hacks with this, and we're gonna talk about it all. If y'all hear a baby in the crying, that's my niece. So yeah, she probably getting her hair done right now. That girl does not like getting her hair done. So she probably in the background right now because I saw her with a loose hair. So, oh Lord, she finna get that hair did for the weekend. So she finna be crying. But yes, drinking more water. So I did it for 30 days and I noticed a big difference. Like I realized I wasn't as heavy. I realized that the cramps wasn't as painful. And I was like, oh, okay, drinking more water does actually really do help. And so those are the main things for me as far as diet goes. I recently found out about gluten and letting go of gluten, but my menstruation has been pretty good for the last couple of years. So I don't feel like I got down to like to having a healthier, happier period until recently. And so, oh, excuse me, you guys. And when I say that, I mean because of the fact that it took, I wasn't going to talk about this in this video, but I will. Sometimes when you have a lot of womb trauma, and what I mean by womb trauma, I mean like emotional trauma, sensual trauma, when you have different things going on with like things in the past that you might not have let go of, toxic relationships, not just necessarily romantic relationships. A lot of times this could cause a lot of times this can cause like emotional, energetic blockages within your wounds, and that could lead to having like menstruation problems, like cramps, mood swings, all the things of that nature. And so, cause when you don't have a right flow of that sacral chakra energy, when that sacral chakra energy is not flowing right, it could cause blockages within your womb. Your womb won't vibrate the way she should be vibrating. You know what I mean? And so I realized like even if I did change my diet or eat healthier, I still had some womb health issues that I still had some womb issues that I needed to address, like womb trauma issues that I needed to address to even having a healthier period. So that's why over the years it was like, okay, I'm gonna do this hack, I'm gonna drink this water, I'm gonna do this and do this. And over the years it was like, okay, you still got to focus on this, this, and this, and that. You know, it's a journey. It's a journey. You know, it's a process. So it took a lot of experimentation, especially when you in and out of toxic relationships too. Oh, girl, you think you getting out one relationship, going to another, and you be like, oh, and just recycle all over again. So yeah, those are the few things as far as like diet goes. Was eating more fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, drinking more water, but also avoiding the foods that could be causing all of this doggone toxicity in my body. Drinking too much, eating too much sugars. I wasn't drinking sodas. I might have had a little bit too much carbs too. So sometimes a lot of too much carbs can build up a lot of sugar in your body, can be a thing as well. I'm not sure about the meats for me because I haven't had, only meats I've had was fish and eggs within the last 13 years. So I don't think that was necessarily a problem for me as far as like meat causing issue. But what I would say is that if you're getting meats, if you're eating meats, you want to be mindful of getting organic or lean or fresh caught, fresh hunted meat and stuff like that, because you could you could be introduced to synthetic hormones. And a lot of times in our food, we have a lot of synthetic hormones. Girl, especially in the meats and the dairies, they have a lot of synthetic hormones. And when you eat those synthetic hormones, our body doesn't really recognize it, or it could cause hormonal disruptions or hormone blockages. So if you need your body, if your ovaries need to produce some estrogen, and your period about to come on, your period about to go off, or whatever's going on, she's preparing for you to release this blood, and so it can be nice and happy and easy. But if you have all these synthetic hormones coming into your body, it can cause hormonal imbalances. So you want to be mindful of what type of meats that you're eating as well. I'm not like advocating necessarily going vegan or vegetarian or whatever like that. I'm just saying being mindful of what type of meats that you are eating. But also when you are eating produce like fruits and vegetables, you also want to get organic. I always say organic. I don't never say organic. I can't even say organic no more. You guys, I think I so used to saying organic. But you always want to get organic because you want to try your best to avoid pesticides, herbicides, all them other little peoples and stuff like that, because it can have certain type of toxic chemicals that can be hormonal disruptors or even cause cancer. They can be carcinogenic. Not necessarily saying like you eat it, you're going to have cancer. But over time, you keep eating these types of food with these toxic chemicals in it, it can produce negative effects on our bodies. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we have a rise in womb health issues, especially in black women, because of the foods, not only foods that we're eating, but also because of what type of foods that we're eating, the state of the food, like synthetic foods, GMOs, all these pesticides, herbicides, synthetic hormones, even like certain other stuff that I ain't gonna get into in this video. It's gonna be another video, but I'm talking about lashes and hair and plastics and stuff of that nature. Stuff, the clothes that we wear. It's a whirlwind, you guys. It's a whirlwind. So another thing that I realized that I had to start doing as far as outside of my diet is exercising. So at the time, I was already exercising. I was doing like African dance. Oh, you guys, I started back doing African dance, and today was my second day. I got that workout in. Ooh, I can't wait to like show up at a class. People haven't seen me in so long. They're gonna be like, "Where you been?" I'm gonna be like, "Come on, you guys." Anyways, so yeah, I was like, I need to exercise. My body was like, you need to go walking more. And I said, okay. So I did some research. I found out exercising can help with having healthier periods. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's see. We're going to do another experiment because I'm such an experimental girl. I have a biology degree, so I love to do experiments on myself, especially like with natural things and stuff like that nature after I do all my research. Because make sure y'all guys, when I start talking about herbs and all this stuff, all this, make sure you do your research, honey, okay? I'm just a girl who like herbs and natural remedies and living off the land and just being in touch with the earth. I am not an herbalist, a nutritionist, a doctor, okay? So you can't say I didn't tell your ass to do some research, okay? Don't just hear from me, but go on Google, whatever you go on, or go talk to this person and this and that. Don't just, Anyways, so I was like, let me do 30 days of walking. Before my cycle came on, I was like, let me try a month of walking, doing so many steps a week. And I can't remember how many steps I was taking a week. Maybe like 20,000 steps a week or something like that. Maybe something like that. 20,000 steps a week. And sure enough, you guys, this is like one of my favorite things to tell women to do outside of eating healthy, of course, but just going walking. And it's so simple. Like, you don't have to go to the gym and lift heavy weights. You don't have to go do no HIIT program and you over here sweating and titty swinging and all this stuff. You don't gotta go to no Zumba. Like, you can do whatever you want, but it can be just as simple as walking 3 times a week and walking like what, 2-3 miles, or 3-4 times a week. You going walking and walking 2-3 miles or whatever like that. Get your steps in or whatever that you comfortable with. It can really be very beneficial. It was very beneficial for me. I noticed a great difference. So I make sure before my cycle comes on, If I have not been working out, because sometimes, you know, we get out of sync. We don't be, you know, I worked out today, but the last time I worked out was probably, what's the day, the 15th? Last time I worked out was probably 2 weeks ago. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be on my little, I had my little schedule. I'm going to work out this and that. But then I started getting some other things. And I was like, oh, I'm too tired. And I don't want to be tired when I'm doing my YouTube videos and just, or writing my book or whatever. And so I kind of cut back. So I'm like, oh, let me start. So I'm going to the gym tomorrow. Y'all hold me to it. I think I'm going to go live tomorrow. But going to the gym tomorrow. It's tomorrow leg day. So normally on leg day, I'm going to go anyways. Because I like to get my booty right. So, but when it's cardio or upper body, honey. But like I was saying, like, doing simple exercises, just like walking, is very beneficial. And you don't have to do too much. You don't have to go no running. If you got bad knees, you can still go to the gym and walk on a treadmill, or you get to one of the treadmills off TikTok or whatever, the little thing I done seen on TikTok or Amazon or whatever like that. It's so simple. So I love to go walking. I walk in the woods and at the park or like that. Walking was one of the main things that I started doing. Even if I did not work out like a cardio or lifting weights, because I like to lift heavy and stuff like nature, I made sure I went walking. Because I'm like, oh, these cramps is kick me in my behind. But after I did that experiment probably back in 2019. Yeah, this is when I was graduating. So around 2019, when I did that experiment, just walking more and stuff. Because I was walking a lot on campus, but I was like, let me do a little bit more, and let me do on the weekends as well. Not let me just walk when I'm going to school, campus, and stuff like that. But actually walk a little minute. And I started just, sometimes I walk to campus and stuff like that because I wasn't too far from FAMU. And yes, so walking, or just other exercises. If you're into yoga, that's a very easy exercise that you can do that can be very beneficial. Like I said, African dance, Pilates, even twerking, because you want to make sure that you're moving your hips. You want to make sure that you're moving your womb and moving your body, not just to get your cardio going, but to get your blood pumping, in your body. Because when we're releasing all this blood out of our body, we get drained, depleted sometimes. And so you want to make sure that you're replenishing that, but also that your blood is flowing right and that your energy is flowing right. And so certain exercise that open up your hips is very, very key, but also that cardio. So like I said, twerking could be a good one. I know some people be like, oh, I ain't trying to do no twerking. And that ain't of the Lord. That's a dance. First of all, I ain't telling you to go twerk on somebody in no club. You could be in your home, your private area, twerking. It's actual dance, but it's very beneficial for women to move our hips and just let that energy flow. You could do some hula hooping, whatever you like. But yes, you guys, walking was yes, ma'am. So another thing that I realized, I'm like, okay, let me look into organic, natural, period products. And I said this in my last video. I said this in my video about toxic chemicals. If you haven't seen my video, go ahead, click on the link. I might click it somewhere up here or put it in the description. Toxic chemicals in menstruation products. You guys, I did not know it was so many toxic chemicals in menstruation products. I used to go to the Dollar Tree, and my mama told me, do not buy your pads at the Dollar Tree. And I was like, Mom, pads is pads. Why you on me? And she was like, why you buy them cheap behind pads? You so cheap. You can go right there to Walmart and get for $4. I said, for what when I get them for $1? You guys, me and my mom used to be arguing about this. She was like, would you stop getting those Dollar Tree pads? And one day I seen a brand called Kora, and it was talking about organic 100% cotton and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, what's in other pads? Like, why is it not cotton? Because every time you see something that say natural or free this or free of that and know this and know that, I'm like, well, what's in the other stuff that's just like it? You know, you start to question, like, well, what the hell is in this? Like, and so I was like, well, what's in this? And I think it was around 2019 or 2020 when I tried Kora. And it was like, I was in Walmart, and I said I was going to go to Walmart and give me some Kora. No, I was going to Target. I was going to Target. And I said, I'm going to go to this Bougie behind store because that's where they had it at. And that thing said like $6, $7. So it was expensive. It was one of the most expensive period company. The other ones, like Always and stuff like that, was much less. But I found out that in most popular or generic brands of menstruation products, they have a lot of toxic chemicals. Some of those toxic chemicals I talked about in my video, some could be like bleach. And me, I'm allergic to bleach because I can't even have bleach around me. My sinuses start to flare up and everything. Bleach, they have dyes, they have fragrance. If you ever like seen the little blue little mark in your period thing, your pads and stuff like that, that's a dye. You also have on the box, it may say like lavender or rose. You know, they put fragrance to make it smell better, which makes sense because, you know, when we leaking out, sometimes it can smell a little funny, smell a little fishy, a little wonky down there, you know, like pennies or something. And so I get them trying to mask the smell of our menstruation, but at the end of the day, a lot of these chemicals are synthetic, are definitely toxic. And fragrance, if it's not like organic fragrance, or if it's not like natural fragrance, like essential oils and all that stuff of that nature, girl, if you have sensitive skin like me, fragrance may not be your best friend. And when I found out about fragrance, I said, oh, fragrance ain't my best friend, because I have very sensitive skin. Very sensitive. Like, even since I was a little girl, if I wore certain earrings or certain backings and stuff, it didn't have like the hypoallergenic, I would break out very easily. That's why I started getting into wearing like natural jewelry and all those things of that nature, because I have very sensitive skin. But also I had to get into like certain products that I could not wear, could not use. So that's when I found out about menstruation products. I just thought it was just lotions and certain type of soaps that I need to stay away from, or jewelry. Not my pads. I like my pads. I like, what y'all out there doing? Y'all really just trying to make us sick. And so you have other toxic chemicals like I mentioned bleach, chlorine, dye, fragrance, parabens. You have phthalates. If you have heard of phthalates, it's so much research on phthalates, and I can't even spell it for you right now. It's a PHTHALATES, maybe. I'm not sure. Something like that. But look, it say patatas, and you. Sorry, y'all. So phthalates is very toxic. A lot of these chemicals that I'm talking about, you also have formaldehyde. They put formaldehyde in pads so it can preserve. And if you know anything about formaldehyde, you be like, why the hell I want that on my concone? I don't want that on my pom-pom, not my concone. What? That make it make sense. And so a lot of these chemicals, like I said, are toxic, and sometimes they are hormonal blockers, disruptors, hormonal disruptors, which mean that once these chemicals seep into your body, whether it's through your skin, through your pom-pom, your mouth, however it get in there, it's down there at whatever organ that's trying to produce a hormone. It's down there blocking it. Because on your body, we're going to go a little sciencey, okay? We ain't going to go too sciencey, but we're just going to go a little sciencey. Let me wet my palate. Oh, you guys, hold on. Hold on, you guys, because I got some more sleep. And I wanted to be bougie. So y'all don't judge me. I wanted to be bougie. I like to drink my little drink in a wine glass. Since I don't drink no more, I'm like, well, at least let me put me some smoothie in there, or juice or whatever, a little water. So I like little, you know, pinkies up. Y'all see that? But anyways, so hold on. Oh, okay. I'm glad I put on all this color. Y'all didn't see that. Okay, so formaldehyde, what else? Parabens, phthalates. Some of these are hormonal disruptors, which mean when it comes into your body, and you have a cell, and this cell has receptors on the outside of the cell. So if you ever seen a cell have little hairs or whatever like that on the little skin or whatever like that, like on my body I have hairs, and on these hairs or parts of the whatever, it has receptors, and these receptors help recognize other things outside of the cell to bring in to produce whatever it need to produce or where it need to get. So if it's the cell, it needs to produce some estrogen. Those phthalates or those other toxic chemicals are down there blocking these receptors for you to produce the right type of hormones. That's right. Imagine a menstrual down there by your kunkum, and your kunkum ain't nothing but a womb and all this stuff like that. So all it's seeping into your womb, going right there to your little ovaries, and your ovaries produce estrogen. Also your little gut, the little foof that we got, that produce estrogen too. So we need that little foof right there. We need that little foof to produce a little estrogen. But that's a whole nother video. And so down there your little ovaries, down here in our little ovaries, we trying to produce estrogen. And then when the thing come in there trying to, okay, let's produce some estrogen. Oh, we can't because it's stuck or it's blocked or whatever, or something's disrupting it, or we producing synthetic or estrogen, or we have synthetic and we already have enough estrogen. We don't need to produce that. But your body realizes, okay, but this ain't the right type of estrogen. Then all other shit started happening. Endometriosis, fibroids, menstrual cramps, ovarian cysts, PCOS, or all this other bullshit. Girl. Sorry, y'all. I got a little upset because I'm so passionate about it, because like it don't make sense for me why we put all these toxic chemicals in some of the simplest things. Like, just give me what I need. I just need you to collect the blood with cotton or bamboo or something. Why are you putting all this other bullshit in here? Okay, it ain't about the money. Sometimes we can still make some money. Anyways, so I found out about all these different types of toxic chemicals. I said, okay, let me get these organic pads. So I'm in Target. I went on and got on and got on. I said, let me go and spend a little $5. I'm going to spend a little $5. I spent a little $5. And you guys, when my period came on and I put that organic pad on, I did not have any menstrual cramps. I kid you not. I cried. I said, I know better. I said, ain't no way. Ain't no way. And the fact that I was using the Dollar Tree pads, which probably had the worst type of toxic chemicals. Most time Dollar Tree stuff or like cheap dollar stuff is nothing but have like products that have like leftover toxic chemicals or leftover just product residue or stuff like that. So anyways, so girl, this is what I'm talking about. Kora. I had got me some Kora, and this was one of my favorite brands. It's one of my favorite brands also because it's like one of the first brands that I started using. And it always say 100% organic cotton. And also on the side it says made without dyes, fragrance, GMO, chlorine. You want to look for stuff like this when you get like your menstruation products. You want to make sure it has organic cotton or bamboo, and it say like free this, pesticides and all this stuff like that. And you know, you don't want all that, okay? And when I tell y'all, I ain't open this box. When I started using this brand, and I'm gonna link it below in the description box. I know that I don't think this live have it on here because the other live I was trying to link into, this is my first time like scheduling live, so y'all be mindful of me, okay? Just be patient with me, you guys. I don't think it has it in the description. Let me go look. No. So what I can do, hold on you guys, I'm going to link it now. So y'all can go ahead and just see what I'm talking about. You can get this on Amazon, you get it from Target, you could get Kora from their website. But I love me some Kora. And they had sent me some of this and some of the other stuff too, like tampons. They have these little pouches for like menstrual cramps and stuff. And yes, you guys, let me see if I can add a description to this. So give me 2 seconds. I have it right here already up. I'm glad I had saved this. Me. Okay. Alright, you guys. So let's see if I can save it. Come on now, computer. I don't know if he can do it while I'm on the live. I might have to have like some kind of thing. going on, you guys? How everybody doing? Comment. Where my ladies at? Jessica, you still there? Oh, you write scripts. Okay, Jessica. Oh, I seen you. I seen you following me on Instagram. I had went to your page. I'm like, oh, I might need to see about her writing scripts. Might need to see about her. I think that might be your page. I remember seeing somebody page recently just followed me and said something about writing scripts and something like that. And so I went and go be nosy. Sometimes I like to go be nosy on people's profiles and stuff. Y'all still in the chat? Y'all still in there? What's going on? All right. What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna have to come back and edit this, but I'm finna link it now, you guys, so you can go look at like all the products I'm about to talk about. Hopefully it saves. It's saved. Yay! She might have went back or something like that. Look at the old live or whatever. I don't know if I can see who else in the live. You guys, y'all be mindful because I'm still getting used to this. Y'all be patient with me. I'm still getting used to this. So, okay, Kora. And I love Kora. Thank you. Shout out to Kora for sending me some free stuff. You will always have a place in my heart. Okay? You always have a place in my heart because you taught me about the healthy pads. And child, about to get emotional because it really changed my life. It really did. I'll never forget that day. I cried that day. I said, oh, because I had forgot my period was on. Because I had put on the pad in the daytime. Then later on that night, I was like, I forgot my period on. Like, I ain't had no cramps. So I'm like, maybe it'll come tomorrow. Because most time the first day, my cramps back in the day, it'll be the first day, it'll be hell. Then it would be like then in some way it changed to the second day. Or sometimes the first and the second day. And so I'm like, well, maybe, hey, Queen Bree. And so I was like, maybe like tomorrow it'll be painful, and it wasn't. I was like, oh, you ain't gotta worry about me no more with them Dollar Tree bags. I could, and y'all, I was so upset because I had to go tell my mama she was right, and not because of the fact that they was cheap, but because of the fact that what they had in them. But also the other ones she was telling me to go get, they had all the toxic chemicals in them too. But still, she told me about them doggone Dollar Tree bags, and I said, shit. Well, your mama be right. Your mama be right sometimes. She be right sometimes. So another brand I love to use is Honey Pot. These are the tampons. And Honey Pot, I love Honey Pot. Even though Kora is so dear to my heart because it was like the first brand I got. But Honey Pot is black owned. And even though she sold her company and stuff like that, it still was black founded and stuff like that. And so I adore this brand. I may not be a fan of the feminine washes, but I adore all the other things that they do have, and I just adore the company being black owned. I adore the company, and they have 100% organically grown cotton, so that means they don't have all those pesticides, herbicides that it could be coming in and leaping into your cocoon, especially if you put tampons in. I don't like tampons, but I got this because they had sent me some. It says no chlorine, no pesticides, no fragrances. Oh, child, that fragrance, oof. Make your coochie fall off. Oh, sorry. YouTube, don't say nothing. Don't cut me off, YouTube. Make your poom poom fall off. And so it also says BPA free, and so BPA is a type of plastic and stuff like that you want to be mindful of. But I love me some Honey Pot. My favorite is they pads, them herbal infused pads. Girl, y'all ever had them herbal infused pads? Let me see a raise of hands. I know it's only a few of y'all in here, but or ladies who coming back to watch this video, have you ever had the Honey Pot Company herbal infused pads? Make it tangle a little bit. It had a little spice to it. A little spice to it. I said, oh my gosh, you guys. So when I first started using that pad, I did not know it had herbal infused, and so I thought something was wrong with Candace. And I said, Candace, girl, what's wrong? And I put the pad on, and I go to my room, and I'm like, something smells a little minty. I'm like, a little minty fresh or something, like something a little tangy, a little, yep, you did. I was like, something's a little tangy. Like, what's that going on down there? And I'm like, Candace, you all right? And so, I don't know what, someone told me to go look at the box. Because I didn't think it was the pad. I thought it was Candace. I thought it was my girl. I said, oh, Lord, what's wrong with my girl? What's wrong now? What's going on? Shit. And so I went and looked at the box. It said herbal infused. And I said, oh. I said, oh, that's the minty. I said, oh, I kind of like it a little bit. Okay. But later on that day, I noticed that I wasn't cramping and all this weird little things and stuff like I said, just over years. It's over the course of, for me, 2015 to now, like just experimenting with different things. So sometimes my period cramps, even when I did have on Kora or something like that, I still would have cramps because maybe I was stressed out, or maybe I didn't eat enough before this month, eating right certain type of foods for this for my period came on. Maybe I didn't walk, maybe I didn't drink enough, maybe I was still in a toxic relationship. You know, my daughter that's 13 was like, like, what is it supposed to be spicy? Like that thing's spicy. It make you nervous. Like, oh, wait a minute, like, hold up now. But then you start, if you have you have like a lot of cramps and stuff, you start to be like, oh, but your poom poom don't be as tense. That's what it was. It's like she just de-stressed. She was just like, oh, I kind of like, I don't know what they had in it. I think it had peppermint. They had to have peppermint. Peppermint, I think it said lavender. And I can't remember the other oils. But, child, that dog, I said, oh, a little spicy. Like, oh. But like I said, it helped with, it's tangling. Tang-a-ling-a-ling. Tang-a-ling-a-ling, you guys. It was tangling. But I love them. I really do love them. So, even though I get like other stuff for free, when they send me them doggone packs, I said, oh yes, come on. Because even after that, I didn't know that you could like have oils and stuff in your menstrual pad. I never thought about that. And so when I saw it said peppermint, I'm like, I got peppermint. And so sometimes when I don't have the herbal infused, I herbal infuse my own. Now, before I go into this, like I said before, I'm just a girl who like herbs. I'm just a girl who like, what's that song? I can't think right now. I'm going to say my age, but it's a song, the Schoolhouse Rock, whatever. I'm just a bill, something like that, on a hill. I'm just a girl who like herbs and also natural remedies and all these things of this nature. So I started putting peppermint drops, and I got me some peppermint oil too, you guys. I love me some peppermint oil. I started putting peppermint drops in my pads. And showing up, but you gotta be careful. If you want to try this, do your research first. It's best to dilute it, but if you can't dilute, like, it's kind of hard to dilute it into a pad because it's gonna dissolve into the pad. So 1 or 2 drops, well, two to 3. If you try the honey pot pads, the herbal infused pads, and it's too much for you, then the peppermint oil you do it on your own might be too much. But if you want to experiment, you know, make sure you get 100% organic essential oils. I linked my essential oil that I use for peppermint oil. We finna get into peppermint oil too in just a bit. And cause I do some other stuff with peppermint oil too. And so, I love putting the herbal infused into my other pads that I use. Like if I have like Kora, or if I had like L dot or whatever like that, I would do that with those pads because they don't have herbal infused. But I did not know about it. And so that's when I found out about peppermint oil. And I heard about peppermint being good for your cramps, but it was a long time when I was with this lady. I used to be a CNA, you guys. So I was watching this lady, and her niece was like, oh, I told her I had cramps. She's like, oh, she had maybe some peppermint tea. She like, this helps with cramps and stuff. I drank it, but it didn't do, it worked a little bit. It worked a little. I don't know if she didn't put enough in there. I don't know, maybe because I was still working or something like that. And I was still watching her grandmother and stuff like that. I don't know, but it didn't do what all it was supposed to do. So I never really got deep into like peppermint. I was like, okay, like peppermint, whatever. And so when I saw the herbal infused pad had peppermint oil in it, I was like, I got peppermint oil. I was just taking a little regular baths with peppermint oil, and I'm like, oh, use it for my hair. I'm like, well, let me find out. Let me see about that oil, cause it did some tangling on my pom pom. I'm finna see what's going on. So something within me told me to rub some on my stomach. And I knew peppermint oil was very dicey, like it'll burn your ass. Like when you take a bath and you don't mix that water up in it, that oil get on your ass. It's gonna burn. So I knew, I'm like, let me dilute it first. because I did my research too. Research. So I did my research too, and I was like, let me dilute it with some coconut oil. I had some coconut oil, and I put a few drops of the peppermint oil, then I rubbed it right where my cramps was at, because I was cramping. And I rubbed it right there, and you guys, when I tell you, it was like heaven. It was just like, it was like just everything opened up. Just, it was, I'm still dumbfounded, because I'm like, ain't no way. This whole time I had peppermint oil and I could have rubbed it on my wound and could have helped me with my cramps. It literally, every time if I have just a little inkling of a little weird feeling, I'm putting some peppermint oil down there. I'm putting in my pads, and it helps like 50 to 75% of it. Like if I'm having really bad cramps, peppermint oil. Peppermint. And it just, it's godsend. It's godsend, you guys, and I love it. I love it. Okay, so we getting down to the last few minutes, because I want to make sure I get everything in. I didn't want to be on here too long, because I was only supposed to do 30 minutes, but we got a little wonky. We got a little, so, okay, so another thing that I like to use is ginger. Ginger. I had me some fresh ginger, but I left it in my refrigerator. Ginger is, that is like, Ginger my best friend. She helped with so many different things. Ginger, I'm talking about ginger root. And if you never had ginger root, go do your research. You probably done seen it in the store. It's a little funky looking root that's tan. And you done probably seen it by the vegetables. And girl, when I tell you about menstrual cramps, this is one of the first herbs I started using for my menstrual cramps. Back when I was doing Wing Chun, bow, and I had cramps, and I was telling the girl who I was training with, she was like, oh, just get some ginger. She was like, I use ginger all the time, and right for my period come on, I just make sure I'm drinking a lot of ginger tea, or I have like fresh ginger I'm eating and stuff like that. I'm like, ginger? I'm like, oh, okay, I had ginger beer, but I ain't never had no ginger root and something like that. Like, I might have had a little bit in the tea, but not like that. Not like that. I didn't really care for ginger because it's very spicy. Now, oh, it's my best friend. My best friend. And so when my menstruation had came on, I went and got me some fresh ginger root. I did a couple little nuggets and made some tea. Those are my remedies when I'm on my cycle. And even if I feel like, especially back in the day when I felt like a cramp was about to come on, or I was prepared. I had my ginger, I had my organic pads, and I had my peppermint oil. If I didn't have all those, I would be upset. Because I tried to make sure I wasn't taking too much, what those pills called? Pain relievers and stuff like that. Because I just want to get as far engulfed with living off the land, learning how to be sure in herb and stuff of that nature. And so I just wanted to make sure, I'm like, oh, well, let me see what happens. And it changed my life. I love me some ginger. Every time my cycle comes on, ginger. Whether it's I'm just chewing on it raw, be careful you trying to chew on the root raw, because it's very spicy. Either I'm making a hot tea out of it, or I'm making like ginger shots. Love giving me some ginger shots, but I mix it with some warm water, like room temperature water, or just warm water. And I would juice the fresh root of ginger, and it probably like a big little root, probably about that big. It probably produced by this much juice. Not a lot of juice, but it's a little bit amount. It's a good amount of juice for the price of the ginger and how much you finna use. Cause when you're doing your ginger shots, you don't need that much ginger. You're not drinking this whole thing of ginger. Girl, you probably pass out or something. I don't know. No. What I do is when I juice it and say I have this much ginger juice left. After the juice, I would get a glass of water, was probably be like 4 ounces of water. So this is about 4 ounces of water, and I'll get a teaspoon, maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons, 1 or 2 tablespoons of the fresh ginger juice, and put it in there and just drink it like that. And oh, that helped with my IBS. That helped with the stinky pom-pom. You got like BV and stuff like that. Because ginger got all these anti-inflammatories and this. I love me some ginger. Ginger's so universal too. So you can use ginger for so many different things, honey. Oh, I love me some ginger. So that's another hack that I like to use as far as like menstrual cramps and stuff like that nature. And another one for like mood swings or just feeling like fatigue or just feeling like down or whatever is this brand. They just sent me a fresh box. And I said, oh, shout out to O Positive. I love this brand. I started using Flow. I don't know. I got a sponsorship from them maybe like back in 2021, maybe they sent me a free box, and I was like, let me try this out. It has Quay in it. It has chase berry, lemon balm, and vitamin B6. It's vegan, gluten-free, cruelty-free, no GMOs, but it helps with like hormonal bloating, mood swings, cramps, and hormonal acne. I didn't think it's a gummy too, you guys. I didn't think that it was going to work. I really didn't. I was like, well, these people want to see some free stuff about cramps and stuff and natural remedies. And I love me some Quay. And I was like, oh, I love me some Quay. So I'm like, got Don, and I'm going to try it out. So this the little gummy, you guys. It's cute. Very sweet. It tastes good. The gummy's good. You got to be mindful. You be like, you think it's candy. You be like, wait a minute now. Don't eat all these. Keep too much damn Quay in your system. But so I'm like, let me try this out. And you guys, when I tried it, it really made a difference. It really made a difference. It was 2021, maybe September, October. This one time, like I went viral on TikTok, and I was getting all these sponsorships and stuff like that. So I was just trying different brands and stuff, and it changed my life. Flow. I make sure I always have me some Flow. Now I don't take it all the time. I take it like when my spirit really tell me to take it, my womb tell me to take it and stuff like that, I take it. Because sometimes when I'm on my cycle, I may be taking other herbs. Like this last cycle I had, I was taking ashwagandha. I've been taking ashwagandha to like build with like my muscles and stuff like that. And I got a video coming out talking about my top herbs for women's health. So we'll talk about that in that video. But I don't want to be taking too many different herbs at the same time sometimes, especially if they in the same family like ginseng and stuff. So sometimes I don't mix it with other stuff. Not saying it would be doing something bad, but I just be mindful. And so, you guys, when I took that, this Flow PMS, changed my life. I really realized noticed a difference in like my mood swings and things. I felt more chipper, more happier. It helped with cramps too, but it was just like, the main thing for me was the mood, my mood change. I was like, oh. And all I took was 2 gummies a day. And I made sure that I started taking it before my cycle came on. So I think I started taking it maybe a week. A few days. I'm going to say about 4 days before my cycle came on. That's when I started taking it. Because I know sometimes herbs take a minute to work in your body. And so, yes, honey. All right, you guys. So that was everything I wanted to talk about. I want to give y'all just a little bit of my backstory. Me having these painful behind cramps and crazy behind mood swings. I didn't bloat too much. Sometimes I did. I wasn't a big bloater, but sometimes I did, especially on the first day. After that, I wasn't too much of a bloater. But the first day was the worst day. I felt like I was in hell. I was just all over the doggone place, and I had to really, I'm so proud of myself to taking the time to experiment on myself, but also just figuring out like what works for me, trying different herbs, listening to other sisters who has gone through similar things and tried different things, and doing this hack and eating better and this. And if I did not take the time to just like care for myself, care for my womb, I still be having crazy behind, like, oh, I'll never forget this one day, like, I had, like, a blood clot. It's probably gonna be a little explicit, but I was in a toxic relationship, you guys, very toxic. I was very stressed out. I think I was about to, I was focused on trying to graduate. I was trying to do my healing, and so it was a lot. I was going through a lot, you guys, going through a lot, and I'll never forget this huge, I swear I thought I had like a miscarriage because this huge blood clot came out of me when I was in the bathtub. And I'm sorry you guys if it's explicit, excuse me, but it was huge. And I was like, I have to do something about this. Like I was like, okay, no ma'am. And that's what I realized. That's when I realized also, like, it's the relationship that you're in. You need to heal from your past. You need to start recycling the same type of men that you're dealing with that's not in vibration with you. You need to heal yourself so you could create this beautiful self-love relationship with yourself, so you could attract a better, healthier relationship. Also your relationship with food and your womb, and it was all these different things. I was like, okay, let me figure this out, honey. So do y'all have any questions? Because I know there was a sister. If you have a question, please ask the question at the bottom. And ladies who's coming back to watching this later on after the live has ended, hey, you guys, comment your question. I still will answer all y'all questions, especially about periods and menstruation and natural remedies and all those things of that nature. Now, if you ask me about relationship advice, girl, DM me. Or if it's about womb health, it's okay. But y'all be asking me about relationship advice, and I'll be like, when that became was when that. Oh, I remember I did this help this sister out who was in this toxic relationship. This girl was doing juju on her. And anyways, I hope she not watching, but I had to tell. I hope she doing good though. But I had to tell like, you need to leave that alone and stuff. But I don't know when I became. It was around that time. I guess one of these days I had posted a video or something like that. Or maybe I was talking about my toxic relationships I was in before, and how I healed, how I was toxic in the relationship too. Like the guy I was with wasn't just toxic; it was also me too. But maybe it was that. But if y'all got questions, please ask the question right now in the comment section. I will answer all of your questions about everything that we talked about. If you're not understanding some of these products or certain things about toxic chemicals or whatever, all that stuff. Oh, you guys, that's delicious. I'm just sipping on that. That ain't even got no. I'm sipping on that like it's a little wild. That ain't nothing but some avocado, banana, and pineapple. Just a little sip. It's just. What time? Oh, okay. We over. Just hit an hour. So I want to give a little minute. Oh, right. Oh, it was a question a sister had asked me. Ooh, did I write it down? Hold on, you guys. Let me see if I can find this question. She asked me, I'm not sure. I don't think she's in the live. My mummy gut is hard to get rid of. What do you suggest, guys? Now, I'm not a mother, so I may not have the same type of issues going on like that. When I say issues, I mean like for mothers, sometimes it be hormones and stuff like that, different for women who don't have kids and stuff or whatever, or you know, just different things going on in your body. So our bodies are different, so you want to be mindful of that. But something you can help with gut is look at your diet. Your diet is 100%, I mean not 100%, 80% of the word, 85% of the word. If you're not eating right, you're not eating healthy, you gotta be mindful. Make sure I read this comment right. Okay, you gotta be mindful of the foods that you're eating. So when I say that, I mean like eating a lot of carbs. I'm not talking about necessarily just eating a lot of meat, but you want to make sure that you're not eating a lot of foods that has a lot of toxic chemicals in it, like pesticides, herbicides, all these different synthetic hormones, and all these different type of additives and preservatives. You want to do some research. I think I might have some on my blog, or article on my blog talking about it. And you want to be mindful of those type of chemicals, because those could build up a lot of blockages within our bodies. When you say mommy gut, the first thing that came to my mind was maybe she might have like a hormonal imbalance or something like that, because like I said, we produce estrogen in our ovaries, but also in our lower belly. So that's why a lot of women have that little fufa down there, the little mommy gut, is because we have a lot of estrogen there. And so that's the estrogen that we're producing. So the fats that's down there, some of that fat we do need to produce estrogen. So you want to make sure that you have a balanced hormones. Like you feel like your hormones is out of balance, imbalance, and stuff like that, you could try different herbs and stuff to help. I'm not an herbalist, so I don't like to necessarily say you should do this, but I would say look into different herbs that you can take. Talk to a herbalist, a nutritionist, or a doctor and stuff. but also eating the right type of food. So make sure you're eating fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. Make sure you're drinking enough water. And those carbs, honey, I realized for me, even me being a vegan, and back in the day, when was like 2 years ago, I was a pescatarian, and I was working at the gym, and I was bending my booty. And somebody was like, I was like, what? Why I'm not getting rid of this gut? And he was like, oh, because you might be eating too much carbs, which I was, because I was like, I'm trying to build muscle and stuff of that nature. And so I had to cut back on carbs. Um, I'm eating very healthy. Well, I'm back on processed vegan foods. I haven't ate meat or dairy. Okay, okay. Oh, ooh, all right, sister. I hear you, girl. I just started by drinking water. Thank God. Okay, yeah. So definitely want to make sure you drink enough water. But as far as even if you eating healthy, like for me, I was eating very healthy, and even though I was eating just like 2 years ago, I was a pescatarian, and I was eating fish and eggs. And I wasn't eating fish and eggs that much, but I was still eating a lot of carbs and a lot of gluten and drinking a lot of wine. And those, when I realized I stopped, when I became a gluten-free vegan, and then just gluten-free period, and then stopped drinking, honey, my gut went down. Like I started to see my abs come in. I can't wait to show y'all, because I was looking at my abs today. Look at you, because it's been a year since I have not had any gluten or any alcohol, even wine. And I realized, okay, my stomach is much more slimmer. Not just for me being a vegan, but it's just slimmer because of the fact that all in the wines and alcohol has a lot of sugar. So if you're eating wines, alcohol is putting all that, making all that sugar into fats and stuff of that nature. Also the gluten, most of the time gluten is with your carbs and stuff. So I had to be mindful of what type of carbs I'm eating. So if you're eating a lot of white rice or yellow rice, you want to switch to healthier, organic alternatives of carbs. And it don't necessarily have to be gluten-free, but I realized for me that gluten-free was a thing. But also when I stopped eating so many carbs and started doing like, okay, instead of doing rice, I'm gonna have potatoes. I'm gonna have like sweet potatoes or just regular potatoes. I'm gonna have me some quinoa. I'm gonna have me some amaranth. I'm gonna have me some just no bread or something like that. Especially bread. I was a bread and pasta girl. And so when I cut back that bread and that pasta, but also rice, that's when I started to notice the difference in my gut starting to go down. And then maybe a year later, definitely a year later, when I became gluten-free and stopped drinking alcohol, that's when I realized my gut even more. So you could be eating healthy, but you could also be eating too many carbs. So you're going to be mindful, like if you're getting like if on your plate you have a lot of carbs that look like this, big round of carbs, I just try to make sure I was like getting like half a cup of cooked carbs, maybe no more than a cup of cooked carbs. Because even if you're doing like white rice, don't do too much. Do more vegetables. You don't necessarily have to cut out on eating a lot and starve yourself. You just got to make sure that you eating the right types of foods. So even if you do just have to get some white rice, you might be on a budget or something like that. Get you half a cup and then get you more vegetables or beans or some fruit or whatever like that. So yeah, your diet, carbs. I'm sorry, I know it took a minute because I love to study this, you guys. So carbs, make sure you're eating the right types of foods, find some alternatives, and also maybe cut back a little bit if you're drinking a lot of like alcohol, wines, and soda, drinks and stuff, sugary foods. Your diet is key. I might make an article on this actually. It won't be right now, but because I got some in line, but within the next month, I definitely will do some. And also working out your abs. You gotta do your cardio and you gotta work out your abs, okay? And so for me, I didn't realize I wasn't working out my abs enough. So when I started working out my abs the last couple of months, I was like, oh, I'm starting to get cut. I can see I'm getting this look. I got a little cut down here. I'm like, oh, yeah, sorry y'all. The girls is we free and hanging. But anyway, yeah. So diet, exercise. I say for abs and getting your stomach right, at least working on your abs 2 to 3 times a week. Something very simple. If you on Instagram, I can send you exercise that I like to do. So message me on Instagram, Queen Bree, and I will send you it's this Pinterest thing that this girl, she do like these certain type of workouts, and I realized the difference when I started doing this into my workouts. And also cardio. Doing some cardio. You can do simple cardio like just going for a walk and stuff of that nature. But Ooh, excuse me. So yeah, girl. Hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully I didn't go too fast. But make sure you're eating the right types of foods. Cutting out some of the foods that could be causing, you know, too much sugar production or fat production and stuff like that. Watch out for them carbs. Carbs. Drink you some water. And make sure you actually working out your abs. You know, you gotta be in them crunches and them bicycle things and all that stuff. And, you know, make sure you at least two to three times a week. Or at least 2 to 3 times a week. A good little workout. I'll send you my workout, what I do for my abs. And y'all gonna see, I'm about to start popping out real soon because I got a meal plan coming out. But I'm trying to get these abs right. Make sure they looking right. They've been abbing. I said, oh, look at me. But all right, you guys. It's already been... Oh, okay. Thank you, boo. I will definitely do that when you're in the live. Okay. You're welcome. Make sure I don't forget. But let me write that down, actually. Let me write it down, because as soon as I get off here, I think I might go on TikTok. But I haven't been on a minute. Queen Brie. Okay, so I'll make sure I'm sending you what I do for my abs. And now, I really like to work out, so it might be a little tough, because every time I send somebody my stuff, they be like, this is a little too much. So you don't necessarily have to do all of it, but I'm going to show you what I do on ab day, on just the ab part, because sometimes I do other stuff. So tomorrow, I'm going to do some abs, and I'm going to do leg day. And it's a workout, honey. It's a workout, you guys. So... Alright, you guys, so that is my video on my painful menstruation story and the steps I took to having an easier, healthier, happier period. If you like everything, y'all go ahead and hit the like button, like this this video, share this video with your sisters. Go look at some of the other videos I talked about toxic chemicals that could be in your menstruation products. Also, I have a video that I'm talking about healthier ways to having a healthier, happier period. So I break down more about the foods, break down more about the products, and break down more about like herbs, and I give you more hacks and all of that nature in that video. So go ahead, check those out. Go ahead, like, share, and comment on those videos too, you guys. I'm working on getting built on YouTube, and I'm trying to stay away from TikTok, because TikTok, not just because they about to be banned, or maybe not about to be banned, but whatever, but TikTok is just working my nerves. And I'm like, let me get my YouTube going, because I have so many followers over here, followers over there, but I'm like, I don't do nothing with my YouTube. And I'm like, let me get to this YouTube. And I'm starting to like it. It's been like a week and a half. I got some more videos coming, and I'm starting to like it. We not monetized yet, but I know that's coming soon. So I'm like, oh, all right. So you guys, go check out those products. Make sure you do your research before you try anything I said on here, especially with the peppermint oil on your poom poom, because I think it's spicy, okay? Or the ginger. Make sure you do your research. Talk to your herbalist, your nutritionist, your doctor, whomever. Make sure, I'm telling y'all right now, so disclaimer, go do your research, okay? So like I said at the end of all of my lives, make sure you eat some water. Make sure you eat some fresh fruits, some fresh vegetables. Drink you some water, girl, okay? Because if you ain't drinking no water, you slipping on your pimping. All right. Eat some fresh fruits, some fresh vegetables. Drink you some water. Do not call Toxic Tony. I don't want to see you out on the date with no dirty Danielle, whatever floats your boat, whatever you like, whatever gets you hot in that night. Oh, that was a little blurred. Do not call Toxic Tony dirty Danielle. If you're texting right now, I can see you. No, ma'am. Don't call them none of that. We are focused on our womb healing 2024. We focus on our womb healing. We focus on our healing and getting to that bag and just being healthier, happier ourselves, okay? We working out. We eating healthy. We drinking water. We ain't dealing with none of this stress and that. We getting to the bag. We getting all this stuff because we are queens. We are goddesses. We are empresses, all right? Nothing below the bar, okay? All that low vibration, we ain't doing none of that no more. We higher vibrational, okay? Positive vibrations, that's all we on 2024. And